if I didn't try to do something that I ain't had no business doing right before I was supposed to be doing something that I have that I'm supposed to be doing. Hold on. I ain't even done setting up. Hold on. Let me get this thing together. Let me get it together. We're good. I'm good. We good? We good? All right, we good? All right. Well, y'all, Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every Sunday afternoon from 1:30 p.m. till around 3:30-ish. And the reason that we say 3:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday, and it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should too. Or also, however you want to term it, you know what I mean? So today we're talking about close your eyes and look for it. Close your eyes and look forward for it. So we're talking about the power of your mind to either make something good for yourself or make something bad for yourself. Let's get funky. Hit that like button, y'all. Can't find the like button? Close your eyes and look for it. Emily Dunlap is in the house. up, y'all? What's good? Close your eyes and look for it. T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Oakland. I'm sorry, y'all. Oakland, what's going on? How you feeling, my dude? Always good to see you. Hey, Mickey, what's up, y'all? Yo, thanks for coming through, man. Yo, close your eyes and look for it. Close your eyes and look for it. This afternoon, we're going to talk to all of my suspicious people. My suspicious people. I'm talking about the ones who would go through your phone, but they kind of talk themselves out of it. The kind that would follow you to your job, but they kind of talk themselves out of it. So they may suspect that something is going on, but it's not just about suspicions. It's just suspicion. It's really about trying to make yourself feel comfortable. It's not as easy to make yourself comfortable out here in this world as a lot of people may make it seem like it is. So when you're finding it hard to believe the things that you want to believe, whether it's about a person, whether it's about a situation, whether it's about yourself, you know, sometimes in order to find the things that you need to be able to see, you have to close your eyes and look for it. Close your eyes and look for it. Because, you know, when you close your eyes, you use your mind. And sometimes you can use your mind to find the good things in life, the things that'll settle you down. And sometimes you close your eyes and and look for things that are really just going to make your life a lot harder. Now, I'm not saying that you should ever ignore any red flags that you may see pop up in your whole world. I'm not saying that you should ignore those things at all. As a matter of fact, I think that you should follow your mind, follow your heart, put them together and try to make some sense of whatever it is that's going on with your perception. But as you know, and I know, you can use your mind to either relieve yourself of pain or you can use your mind to cause yourself a whole lot of pain. Let's talk about it. We're going to get into it. Let me get this hardware out of the way. So we can do what we came to do, kid. We gonna do what we came to do. And everything is gonna work out exactly the way it's supposed to. Everything is gonna work out the way it's supposed to. Like, I was nice and clean. I was nice and clean. Everything was good. And I said, you know what? Let me mess with this thing. Let me tell y'all what I've been doing. My red drum. I broke the skin on my red drum, tuning it up, right? So I'm trying to replace the skin. So the skin came. I showed y'all on Friday night. The skin came. So yesterday I put the skin on the drum. I couldn't rock with it like that. I couldn't rock with it like that because I did it wrong. I skinned the drum wrong. And from the video I was watching about how to do it, I was like, where am I going wrong? So I went to another video and it made it a lot easier, which really kind of just showed that I wasn't paying attention on the first video. But I'm like that sometimes. It's like that sometimes. It was like that this time. So I was like, all right, well, the smart thing to do was wait until after the show and then mess with this drum. But I was like, no, I got a half an hour. I'm ready to go. So I start messing with it. Now I got to start all over. But that's how I do. You know what I mean? When I be wanting something, I be wanting it right then and there. So I got to work on that. Because that died on the operating table. Dimples D's, what's good? How you feeling, ma? It's always good to see me some you. Without a doubt, always good to see me some you. And my man Johnny West, what up? How you feeling, my dude, man? It's always good to see you. What up? I appreciate y'all coming through. I appreciate y'all coming through. Are we good? Okay, hold on. I know that ain't a good look. I'm gonna move this thing over. Boom. Move that thing out of harm's way. So close your eyes and look for it. We get metaphorical today on this Sunday. We getting all metaphorical on this Sunday. Close your eyes and look for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't find it. The things that you can't find evidence of, yeah, a lot of times you close your eyes and you'll find it. And that's metaphorical for saying that, you know, you use your mind or your intuition to find the things that you need to find in order to either confirm your suspicions or your assertions or your beliefs. Your beliefs. Think about it. Think about it. One of the most believed things in this world that we have never had any physical evidence of is God. Think about it. We have no physical evidence of God. Nobody can tell you that they saw God in the flesh. Many people will tell you that they saw God or that they were visited by God or whatever. But I'm talking about as far as the flesh, like somebody could get a picture of him. Like, yo, let me just grab my phone, or have God, back in the days, have God just stand there and pose for a little while so I can sketch up a picture, paint a picture of God. Like, yo, y'all, what y'all think he looked like ain't nothing like what he looked like. This is him. And this is him in the flesh. I saw him. I saw him in the flesh. So we often have to close our eyes to look for to look for the evidence of God. In order for us to see him, we kind of have to close our eyes. In other words, we have to believe. We have to fix our minds in order to be able to see God or have evidence of God the way that we need him. And everybody's relationship with God is personal. Now, I'm not, we're not going to do religion today, but I'm trying to get y'all into the mode of understanding what I'm trying to talk about today. What up, Carla? Carla. What's going on, my good to see these of you? Word up. Johnny West says, skin on drum. That would be a great way of saying uncircumcised. Really? More, well, you talk about uncircumcised, you talk about like that's skin on the drumstick. That's skin on the drumstick, my dude. You know what I mean? But I see how you thinking there, and I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it in the least. But yeah, close your eyes and look for it. What we doing, y'all? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? What we doing? When was the last time you had to close your eyes and look for something? When was the last time you had to close your eyes? I'm going to try not to go right into the negative, because the elephant in the room is cheating on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what I mean? You know your man is cheating, or you know your girl is cheating, or you really suspect that they are. And it could be whether they gave you evidence of it. You definitely haven't seen it. You definitely have not seen them cheating, but from what you know, from where you've been and from what you've experienced, you know for a fact that they ain't being true. They being false. They are fronting. They've been fronting on you. Why are they fronting on you? Well, that is something that we have to figure out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Kim's Wims, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Johnny West says, if you want to argue with the atheist, ask him and wait a minute, ask them, and then what happened before that? Without something, there would be nothing. I don't know, Johnny. That's the part that fucks me up. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. When it comes to our theory of creation, I'm thinking that there must be something else out there that we don't know about. There must be a theory of creation or a method of creation that does not match with ours. Ours has to be wrong, because in our theory of creation, everything comes from something else. Everything comes from something else. So the only reason we are here is because our parents are here. The only reason our parents are here was because their parents, their parents, and their parents, and their parents, all the way back to the beginning of whatever. So how do you get to the beginning of whatever? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I spend a lot of time thinking about this shit. Sometimes it makes me a little anxious, because I'm like, wait a minute. how can there be a God if there, like, who created God? Why does anything exist? That's my question. Why is there a such thing as anything? That includes this earth, everything in it, from the biggest mammal to the smallest molecule. Why does anything exist? Why do we have sun, moon, stars? Is that even what we're looking at? Where did it all come from? And if God created all of that, who created God? Why does anything exist? So, I'm not a religious man. I consider myself to be a spiritual man, but I have questions. And our scientific method tells us that everything comes from something else. Everything derives from something else. So why are we here? I haven't been able to close my eyes and find the truth or the answer with that. All right, let's go.
You have a call from Stacy.
Stacy, welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Thank you for calling. And what's on your mind this afternoon? What's good with you?
Hello, Omar.
Hi.
You could have said hello to me in the chat. You know I wrote in the chat.
I didn't see you in the chat.
You didn't speak.
Where are you in the chat? I don't see you in the chat.
Sir, you need to put your glasses on.
No. I just need to see your name. I saw everybody else's name. I still don't see you in the chat. Let me see. Is she in the chat? I don't see you in no chat. Wait a minute.
That ain't hiding me from you.
Your name is not in the chat.
I was the second one from Emily.
You are? Oh shit. You know what? You know what the problem is? When I pin the number, it's covering your name. My bad. That's why I didn't say it. I couldn't see it. So even if I had glasses on, I wouldn't have been able to see. I'm gonna show you what I saw. And
well, maybe.
No. Just be quiet for a minute. I'm gonna show you, because people ain't gonna be thinking I'm fronting on them. This is what I see.
You be fronting on me all the time.
Man, look. We're not doing that. This is what I saw. So your name was covered on the chat. I'm like, I don't see your name nowhere on this shit. You know what I mean? Your name was covered because when I pinned the number, it covered your name. I would have never saw it. All right, my bad. So what's up?
I was just calling. When he was talking about the atheist, I know I'm not an atheist, but I definitely know I'm a Christian. But sometimes I get upset and a little mad at God. Sometimes we get mad at our parents, but we still love our parents, right? So God is a parent too. So we get mad at him too. But sometimes when I get mad, I go back to saying that I'm a sinner and I'm lost and God will find me.
Why would you ever get mad at God?
Oh, I get mad because I don't like going through the same lessons thinking I don't fail or I missed the mark. Oh, I get mad. I'm not perfect. I can get mad. I have never seen God in the flesh. I have seen him sometimes I've seen him work through people.
Okay.
And today we do get the same colors on the day he's bearing witness again. So I know the devil mad.
So why would a person get mad at God again?
A person will get mad at God. I know I will get mad at God for not. When I get mad at God is when He puts something on my heart and I can't achieve it. That's my belief for me. I don't know about everybody else's belief, or why they get mad. And some people get mad at God for stupid reasons because some people want other people's lives and don't know what they done been through to get the blessing, and they done survive to get the blessing. I don't want nobody else's life for mine. Especially with my health, and I go through it with a good attitude, you know, sometimes, and God will bless me with that because He sees my attitude and He know I get tired. But they be trying to take my life away from me, literally, and trying to take me off of here, literally.
What do you mean, literally, take you off of this? Somebody trying to kill you?
Like unalive. Like if they gonna get the blessing if I'm gone.
I mean,
it doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. Right.
It don't make no sense. And I was just calling in because I haven't had those things. I'm not saying God can't do what He could do it, but can He do it for, like I said, can He do it for me? You know, I ain't saying that He can't do. He can do anything He want to do. He can move the last person all the way up to the front if He wants to. That's when you say favor and fair. He could do whatever. He could do His. He could take a person that ain't all the way spiritual and bless them.
Mm-hmm.
He can do what He want to do, you know. But I do get pissed. I got pissed off at my parents. Then I got pissed off at God. Yes, I do. I repent though. I repent and I move on, you know.
Well, I'm saying, like, all right, hold on. Because all right, how can I address this? Okay. A lot of people think that they know what God's plan is or how He should conduct His divine business as far as we're concerned. So I guess when we don't, people that I've known have claimed to have gotten mad at God because they didn't have peace or tranquility or they weren't able to get comfortable in their own lives. And they feel like God should have provided them since they are doing the work of the Lord and doing what they're supposed to do. So they should always feel good about themselves. But I always ask, well, how can you say that you trust God's plan if you're trying to tell Him that He needs to do this for you because you so-called did this for Him? Like, you know, if you've never seen God in the flesh or talked to Him in person, how can you know for sure what His plan is? Most of the time, we know God's plan through other people, through man.
Yeah.
And we know that man is not trustworthy. So the question I'm going to ask you, and I want you to think about this for a minute. If we were made in God's image, right? That's what the Bible says, right? We were created in God's image, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know that man is fallible. We know that man makes a lot of mistakes. We know that man does a lot of bad things, even on purpose. So in that way, because man breaks his promises to himself and to other people, man is not trustworthy. So does that mean if we were made in God's image, does that mean that God is not trustworthy as well?
I think God is trustworthy. We have our own will, and I think He is trustworthy. Just like I don't understand marriage. I don't want to get married let down. I guess marriage comes with a lot of blessings, and through the state.
Whoa! You going in the wrong direction.
No, I'm going in the same direction. This is how I'm telling you that I trust God. He said marriage is right, and honorable of God, right?
Okay. All right, go ahead.
But as a person, I don't trust it.
Okay. But marriage is what does God have to do with marriage?
God is a lot of things because this is beneficial and there's benefits, and God is you in divine I forgot what they call it. You are in divine you are in unity with God when you get married, because He's in the center of it. He made it and all that other stuff, but I don't trust it. I can live single and be happy, and he can give me the gift of singleness. And I'm still waiting on that.
Okay. But the thing is, but I'm asking you, what does God have to do with marriage? Like, all right. Now, before marriage became a legal concept in this world, how did people get married before?
I don't know. I'm just 54 years old. I don't know.
All right, well, when you turn 55, maybe you should think about it a little bit more, because I've thought about it. If people, if there was no legal system before, way back in the day, whether you're talking about 2,000 years ago, or whether you're talking about 6,000 years ago, or whether you're talking about as far back as the earth and mankind has been here. If the institution of marriage hasn't always been an institution, but it was still a thing, I think it's a good thing to think about how marriage was conducted or identified before the courts before the courts got involved, because we know how the legal system looks at marriage. They don't give a shit about whether you like each other, love each other, or whatever. It's pretty much designed so y'all can be held responsible for each other's actions, and also for those of the people who come out of the marriage, which would be your children. But yeah, so the legal system doesn't give a shit about you or your spouse or your union. But when you start talking about God and whether you can trust him or not, my question to you was, if we were made in God's image and we know that we can't trust each other, can we trust the person whose image we were made in? And the reason I'm asking you that is because wait a minute, wait. And the reason I'm asking you, hold on, chill, hold on, stop. The reason I'm asking you that is because you said that sometimes you get mad at God. I could understand being mad at God if you think that he broke his promise. We would be mad at anybody else if they broke a promise to us, especially if it was something that was important to us. So I could understand being mad at God for breaking a promise that you felt like he made to you. But is that the situation that we're dealing with, or are we dealing with something else? What we talking about?
Sometimes I'm talking about me. Sometimes my faith could be low, and it's not as high as I think it is. I had one time where I got really disappointed in God, and he knew I was very disappointed in him, and he actually, the Holy Spirit actually said that he was sorry to me because I was disappointed because the situation didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen. And this ain't had nothing to do with my parents or anything. This was me personally, one-on-one with the Lord that I've been dealing with, still dealing with this day. So I don't know, sometimes my faith could be low. We got to have a lot of faith in him. And like I said, I'm still seeking God. I'm just trying not to give up on him. And that's what the enemy wants us to do, is to give up on him.
Okay. So
that's all. Yeah, that's all I'm saying is, and I don't. What how I do is for my faith to be strong. I plant myself around people that's spiritual and that's high in faith, and I have to have a connection to God because I have to learn how to forgive. That's how he answers our prayer. If he could forgive people who hurt his son, he could forgive us. If we have to forgive other people that, hurt us, so he could hear us. That's when forgiveness comes in at, And sometimes that's hard to forgive people that hurt you. And sometimes people hurt you for no reason.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes people threaten you for no reason. Want to fight you for no reason. Don't even know you. Mm-hmm. Have you scared as hell. And don't even know you want to beat you up because you living the best life you can live. So, yeah, I'm still seeking myself on I don't know everything. But I'm glad this show is like it is, because I even get mad at you sometimes, but I have sense enough to call in because if I come away from the show, that's not doing me no good at all.
Mm.
So I did pinky swear. So I just want to keep my promise, you know. So
what did you pinky swear about?
I pinky swear that I will be at the show, but I can't be every day at the show because I be sleeping good at night. So I said I pinky swear on the weekends. I'm definitely gonna be there. At the show. So I'm trying not to break my promise.
Okay. I can understand getting mad at me because I could be deemed untrustworthy. But getting mad at God, like where's that going to get you? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, and it makes me feel bad when I get mad at him. So I'm like, I be feeling bad because I got the Holy Spirit in me. I be like, but I get over it. You know, before I go to bed, I try to get over it.
I mean, I understand. I mean, I do, but I guess first of all, I don't know if you sitting in front of that fan or whatever, but here you go with that feedback going on with your audio. Yo, fix that. Fix that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's better already. What a miracle. Look at God. Look at God. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you start talking about God, and I don't, like I said, I don't want to do the religion thing, but when you start talking about God, a lot of times, you know, you might have to close your eyes and look for him because you can't see him in the flesh, and it's kind of based on faith. Hold on a second.
You have a call from.
Yeah, it's kind of based on faith. So because it's based on faith, you know, sometimes you have to work on your faith, and it might not be easy to do that at every turn. But but just like here on this earth, you know, we always have to keep our expectations realistic, and our expectations aren't always realistic. Sometimes they way out of bounds somewhere because we really believe, some of us, not everybody, but many of us really believe that if we do the right thing, then the right thing should happen to us. It sounds good, but there's just way too much evidence to the contrary. Way too much evidence to the contrary. There are too many bad people that I know personally that's getting theirs. Now, what do I mean by getting theirs? I mean that they may be financially stable and don't seem to be affected negatively by the things that they've done or by what other people are doing to them. But I also have to remember that I don't live inside of their head and they don't live inside of mine. Yo, I'm hearing mad feedback. You got to get it together. Get it together. I don't care. I don't care who it is. You know what I mean? Y'all got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have detention. Y'all gonna have to stay after class. Ain't no telling what I might do to somebody. You know what I mean? For being bad in the class. Ain't no telling.
You know, I done had detention and I done had gum on my nose, so I'm used to it.
Well, this is gonna be way worse than that. Way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm past those little childhood embarrassing punishments. You know what I'm saying? I embarrass adults. Shit get real out here. All right. Kim Swims, what's good?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy. Talk to me. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good?
You know, I love this kind of topic. Again, because I'm always on the island of Kim, and I have no problem being there by myself.
So you done already prepared yourself for the fallout for this fuck shit you about to say, huh? Is that what you? Okay, all right, go ahead.
I don't care. I don't care what.
All right, well, go ahead.
Who's gonna beat my ass? Nobody. So
you don't know that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. An ass whooping can come from anywhere.
I know.
You know what?
So it is. I know ain't nobody beat my ass. That's
Man,
what I know.
Whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
So in this conversation, I know. So here's the thing. People always say, "Do you believe in God?" Because even people who've known me my whole life are still confused, and I don't even understand why they're confused. So when people say, "Do you believe in God?" I always say no. And instead of people going and asking the next question, they immediately get all their panties all wrapped all tight and get upset and angry. But there have been a few who will stop. Like there was a lady who was a Jehovah's Witness. You know, she was doing her Saturday walk or what have you, and she stopped and asked to come up on my porch one summer. And she asked me, "Do I believe in God?" And I said, "No." And I saw the startle on her face, but then she's like, "Why not?" And I said, "To say you believe in something leaves room for doubt."
Mm.
So I never say I believe in God. I say I know there's God. And I don't say there's a God. I just say I know there's God. Because that's just a fact for me.
Okay.
Because in my world, I can see the works of a higher power in how I live, the things I do, and things that I can't explain. And that's not just for me. That's just for my loved ones. That's just for everybody and everything I see. Even though we see the worst of things as humans sometimes, we also see the best of things as humans. The greater parts of life as humans, things we can't explain that are amazing to us. So I know those are not here by happenstance. And I know that people are capable of creating these amazing wonders that we experience.
Like
But
what?
it comes with, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Like what? They're capable of creating these wonders. Like what? Like what kind of wonders are we capable of creating?
One of the simplest things is just to get up and see this sky above us. We can't create that.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh, so
just
you were
the
saying
simplest
God can
thing.
create these things that. Well, okay. All right. Now.
No, what I'm saying is these things exist because of a higher power that is beyond us.
Oh, okay. 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 Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying. I ain't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So with that, we have been taught to put labels on everything. We have been taught that I'm either Christian or I'm Jewish or I'm Muslim, yada, 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 yada. And I get it because we have been taught this for so long, but no one ever stops to think about what went on before these words were put in a book by man that tells us this is what we are, this is what we have to be, this is what my family taught us to be. No one ever stops to think about that. Even in the fact we say atheist or Christian or whatever, or even agnostic. Because I think a lot of us are more agnostic than anything. And here I am saying label, but I do believe a lot of us are more agnostic than we think. And we've been taught to frown our nose at atheists and assume they are ignorant or wrong or they're devil worshippers and yada, yada, yada. They don't have a heart. They don't have compassion, which is absolutely not the truth. But these are things we're taught and we go through life believing them to be true. And especially because we've been taught not to question, not to ask questions. So a lot of people don't stop and really think about it because they've been taught not to question. And I can't in my heart of heart believe that we're not supposed to question. Why would we have this thought process in our bodies? Why would we have this existence in our minds if we're not supposed to utilize it? We don't know the answers to things if we don't question. However, I think there are parts of this life that we're not ever meant to know. We're not meant to understand things because I don't think we're equipped to completely understand everything. Like, I believe we aren't all designed to see death. We aren't all designed, and in all honesty, I don't believe any of us were ever designed to see death. I think that's the reason why some men and women come from the military messed up because they see things that they aren't supposed to see. And these are things that were created by man. Man started these wars. Man created these wars. However, there was a doubt in some man somewhere, and I don't mean gender, I just mean human, that decided, I'm going to do this thing here because I'm selfish and I'm greedy and I don't care about making other people miserable. And some will say, well, did God put that thought in this man's head? That's questionable. That's questionable for others. And it could be the fact that we're here and we're designed to do a certain or specific thing. Like Carla said, someone said to her, it was already written. I believe to a point there are things that were already designed, but somewhere there was a glitch. Somebody did something wrong one time and it caused a snowball effect. And now we have an avalanche of problems every day. Like, we're taught, especially in Western civilization, that certain things are voodoo. To be spiritual is negative, it's witchcraft, yada, yada, yada. But the reality is that is us. We are designed with certain specific things that guide us, but we're taught that they're bad, so we miss it. Like we talk about having that inner voice. I truly believe that inner voice is the connection of God speaking to us. That's that inner voice that tells you, just don't do that thing there because it's going to end horrifically. Or it tells you, answer that phone because there's somebody important on the other end. Or it's that moment when you think about somebody just out of the blue and then they call you. Those, I think, are spiritual connection, spiritual things, the voice of God speaking to us, that's saying, this is what's written for you. This is what's designed for you. This is what I need you to do. But we don't listen sometimes, and we miss it. And then when things go bad, we're angry, and we're mad at God and everybody, when the message was right there. It was right there for us to listen to. But because we're human, sometimes we don't stop and listen. We have this assumption, because we're taught from a book that was written by a man, we have this assumption of what the expectations are, what we're supposed to do, and we have to do it like this, and that's the only way we're ever going to reach any kind of salvation. But what if we've been wrong the whole time? Yes, it's simple. We know that you have to be a good person. We know that you can't go around killing people. We know these things.
Do it?
Like, we didn't need a book to tell us that. Yes, we know that. Because we know the aftermath of that is horrible. No one wins in that. And everybody is brokenhearted. And for me, I can't believe the God that designed me meant for me to be brokenhearted all the time. Meant for me to do things that make me question my morality. I can't believe the God that designed me meant for me to be sad and hurt all the time because of things I've done. I believe that it's the voice of God speaking to us that says, no, you're not supposed to do this. I don't think we needed this book to tell us this, because this book didn't always exist. And I think that's where the misunderstanding comes in. Like, I know somebody now who says, well, I go to church every Sunday and I can repent for the things I do. But Kim, you can't. And that's why you're not blessed. And I'm like, well, I'm talking to you right now, so it means I woke up. Isn't that a blessing? It's just that simple. But she associates blessings with things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, what we're talking about a little bit is conditioning, because when you say that we get our system or our theory of morality from a book, you may be talking about the Bible, but the Bible isn't a factor for everybody in all parts of the world. In the United States,
I'm speaking about all books of knowledge. I'm speaking about all books of knowledge, not just the Bible.
Okay, so you're talking about all religious books.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all religious books have a common theme. You know what I mean? But and that common theme is the fact that, you know, they all push the morality envelope, all of them. You know, do the right things and you'll be okay. But the right things become subject to a lot of scrutiny. But I want to say this, you know, people say that they trust in God and that they want to put it in God's hands. But when you really look deep down into it, they only trust putting things in God's hands when they want things to work out the way that they want them to work out. They don't put their trust in God's hands for things that are going to make them in pain or uncomfortable or, you know, unfavorable. They only trust in God or put it in God's hands when it's going to be beneficial to them from their point of view. Now, I think that...
Let me respond to that real quick. Let me respond to what you just said real quick. It is just me coattailing. I think we said this in one of the shows, maybe last week. I said that. I can't remember when it was, but recently. You are correct. Because everything we're experiencing right now, there are so many people around me who say, God is going to see us through this. God is going to make it. I don't even worry about it. I just pray because God got us. I put it in God's hands and we're going to be all right. And I have to remind people, you know, this is the same God where there are people starving in Gaza. We have experienced the loss of people due to natural disasters. This is the same God where we have lost loved ones. This is the same God where war is upon this planet in different countries. So why do you say I put it in God's hands and you're comfortable and reassured that we're going to be okay because I put it in God's hands instead of it is going to be whatever God has already decided. So you can't guarantee that we are going to be okay when over here is the same God where we see the faces of people who are starving, the faces of children who are skin and bone, who are starving. No, I just wanted to respond to what you just said. So, because exactly what you said is exactly what I have to remind people. And they get so uptight when I say that. And they're like, you need to pray more. You need to look at the Bible more. You need to have more faith. And I'm like, what am I saying different than the reality?
Well, all I know is this. When it comes to God, I don't think that you can really pick and choose. Like, if you trust His plan, then you trust His plan, no matter how it goes. You know what I mean? Nobody said that you had to like His plan. They said that you're supposed to trust it. So, you know, if we say that God is responsible for all lives, so you can only come into this world if God says so, and you can't leave it until God says so. That's what we say initially. But then when challenged, we talk about people committing suicide and say, no, that goes against what God said. So wait a minute. I thought you said that you can't leave this world until it's your time to leave this world. So whether you leave this world, first of all, we all got to go. We don't get to choose the method all the time. But let me put it this way. We don't get to choose when all the time. But if you say that God is responsible for all life, so you can only come into this world if God says so, and then you say that you can only leave this world when God says so, when it's your time, it's your time. So like if you're sick and you're dying, but you're not ready to die yet because you have some more things that you want to do and you want to take care of your family and blah blah blah. Yeah, but you don't get to choose that, right? But so if you know that your work is done here when God, when you get sick and die or whatever, isn't your work finished when somebody murders you? If somebody poisons you? If you commit suicide, isn't your work done? You say we want to change the narrative and say, no, you consider yourself, your work to be done because you're sad, you're depressed, and you can't stand the pain that's in this world. But how do you know that God isn't the one inflicting that pain for a lesson that not only you need to learn, but somebody else? When we walk down when we walk down the street, there's a good chance that we step on insects that we didn't even know about. I guess their time was done. We don't even think about that. We slaughter animals and we eat them. Hamburgers, steak, chicken wings, hog maws, whatever. You know what I mean? Well, some people really have a problem with it, and others don't think twice about it. And part of the reason is because it says in the Bible that, we have dominion over all the animals. But I think, and I can't believe that we're spending this much time on this, but I'm going to say this. I think that human beings have the hardest time on this earth because we are nature resistant. We don't have a nature. We don't have one. All animals follow their natural order. They don't do anything outside of their natural order until what? Until man comes along and interferes. Buffaloes roam, lions eat buffaloes. Until what? Man comes in and says, no, we have to save the buffalo from the lion. I ain't seen a lion crying yet over eating a buffalo. But you see man over there like, oh my God, that poor buffalo.
But man is the only mammal on this space that kills for fun.
That's actually not true.
A lion
that's not
true. A buffalo until it's fed, and then you'll see them at the water hole together.
But
once the lion is fed.
But the lion will kill a hyena just to show the other hyenas, don't fuck with me. And I have many. So we're not the only animal that kills for sport, or kills without wanting to eat something. Carnivores don't like to eat other carnivores because carnivores eat other carnivores, and the meat tastes nasty because of that. So carnivores like to eat grass-fed animals. So, but a lion will kill a hyena. I've seen videos where he killed the hyena and just held the hyena, swung him around to all the hyenas like, yo, fuck with my pride, y'all gonna get this too. And I'm just one male lion, and it's like 15 of y'all hyenas, and I'm gonna fuck all y'all up, just like I did this one. So we're not
That's just
the
about dominance.
huh?
That's just about dominance. Man does it for what? Just to show.
Well,
Out of
we do it.
arrogance.
We do it to show our dominance. That's what we do it for. But the bottom line is, if God is responsible for all life and death, but man questions death, even puts people in jail and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that we should have free dominion to just go around killing and maiming and hurting people, but it's either God's will or it ain't. So I think that human beings have a problem because we don't have a nature. We don't have a defined nature. We can look at every other animal in every other species in this world, and they have a thing that they do. They have a set of principles. And the only way that they try to extend their life is through eating. Other than that, they recognize that I can't live forever, or I can't extend my life beyond our natural life expectancy. Human beings don't even know we don't even know what our natural life expectancy is. Out there, animals out there in the wild, if they get sick, if they get hurt, if they can't hunt, they can't eat, and they gotta die. They know that because they can't hunt and they can't get away, then they become the hunted. They understand that. Now I can't be inside of their head to see to know what their fear factor is or what their sorrow is, but I do know that they understand. They understand that you know, I mean, your shit is fucked up. You going to become food, and that's why you don't see the other animals trying to, you know, pull up an ambulance and get the other animal to safety. They'll get you to safety as far as what you can do for yourself. But human beings don't have that. So we've determined a greater purpose for ourselves, and because that greater purpose for ourselves is contradictory to what some of us say is and some of us say isn't. But faith in God belief in God is faith-based. And I have no problem with that because I'm a believer in God. But I do understand people who don't. I fully understand it. But my understanding of those who don't is that their expectation level is ingrained in something that's unrealistic. You know, when I hear people say, well, if there's a God, you know, why do babies get hurt and why do people get abused? And just like you were saying, why over there in Gaza, people starving and they being hurt? Why do we have people locked in jail forever? Why were black people or Africans or whatever slaves and all that kind of stuff? Well, it's either God's will or it ain't. Now, you know, first we want to say
understand that things are designed. I do believe there is a map per se that says this is to be like this, like this, like this. However, there was a glitch in there somewhere, and man caused that glitch and changed the course of the way things should be. I do believe that. And I don't believe it's all the Garden of Eden and all that. I don't believe it's that. But I do believe that there was a set path and there was a glitch in that path set by man. And here we are. And the result is the avalanche of things that have happened over the course of time that bring us to where we are even right now. I don't question why these things happen. I don't question if there's a God, why. I've never questioned that. I just know for the people who say I put it in God's hands, those people seem to misunderstand. And it sounds selfish to me when they say, well, I put it in God's hands and we're going to be all right. And I remind them that you're saying this selfishly because you think, because you said, I put it in God's hands, we are going to be okay. But it's the same God that is the God over Gaza, the same God who was over the slaves, the same God that these people are praying to who have dealt with suffrage. And it's just a different type of suffrage because we deal with suffrage too. It's just a different level. That's all it is. It's just different. But it still exists. So to say it in the terms that because I said I put it in God's hands, it's going to be okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm talking about. I never questioned because I don't think it's meant for me to understand fully. And I don't think I'll ever understand it fully. And I don't think I'm designed to ever understand it fully.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to get at is, I just know that as man or human beings, whatever you want to call us, we contradict ourselves all the time when things don't go our way. When things go the way we say that they're supposed to go, then yeah, God is great. But when things don't go the way that we design them or we expect them, then we say, no, you're going against God. And I'm like, that's interesting. But at the same time, when God won't let you in his heaven, then you go to hell. So God created everything and he controls everything. But we want to pick and choose. Like you shouldn't be, when you do something bad, you're listening to the devil. Like, well, can't you only listen to the devil if God said so? I mean, because he created the devil too, right? I'm just saying. So I don't know. It's there's a lot to think about. But yeah, that's why we called the show today, Close Your Eyes and Look for It. God is one of those things, evidently, that you often have to close your eyes and look for it. Look for him because you can't get him in the flesh and you don't know for sure what his plan is. And since the legal system won't allow us to follow God's will, we gotta find another way. We have to find another way. But trying to find peace, tranquility, comfortability, a good feeling in this world is not as easy as people think. And I can't, but I when I say I didn't mean to get caught up on that for an hour, I really didn't. I'm going to blame that on Stacy. But it goes the way it goes. Now, switching gears for a minute. When you hear close your eyes and look for it, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Peace.
What did you say?
Peace.
Peace? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like in a meditation type of way?
Yes, I think sometimes you have to, I know you need to address your chat with your bell, but I know, I'm going to say this fast so you can. I think sometimes in the midst of chaos, and even when it's not chaos, sometimes for me, sometimes I do have to just sit still and close my eyes and take a breath or two, not necessarily meditation, but just take a breath or two to center myself and find that peace that's within.
Okay. So have you ever had to close your eyes and look for something that wasn't good? For example, let's say, sometimes our intuition tells us things that sometimes our intuition warns us of danger. So have you ever been in a situation where you may have liked somebody a lot, but something about them made you uncomfortable? And you knew, your spidey senses were tingling like crazy, like, yo, something ain't right about this motherfucker. And you might have had to close your eyes.
People.
Mm-hmm.
That's just people. I've come across other women. I'm like, I don't think she needs to be around us. Some about her is off.
Have you ever quit something or terminated something just based on a feeling that you got?
Yes. Listen, I used to work at a law firm in our downtown, and every day I stepped into that building, like my mood would be at 100%. But the moment I stepped in that building, it would turn to shit. I hated that place. And I couldn't explain why, but I hated it. Every day, it drained me. And it seemed like it was so immediate that it drained me. And I remember one day, one of the attorneys was walking past and he sneezed, and I said, bless you. He said, no, thank you. And I was taken back. I was like, what? Who says that? Later, after working there a while and getting to know other people, I remember I was telling one of the ladies, I was just sitting in our cafeteria, and I said, this place seems to put a dark cloud over me every time I come here. My mood changes and seems to make me angry, evil all the time when I'm in here. I hate this place. And she was like, it's a bunch of atheists that work in here. And at the time, of course, I didn't really, I didn't think the way I think now anyway. I was like, man, is that the reason why? But I met one, and she was the sweetest person ever. So then I was able to sit, and it wasn't so much that it was a bunch of atheists. It just was a bunch of people there who had no moral compass, who didn't care about life and other people. That's what it was. I work with a lot of soulless attorneys who didn't mind bringing harm to senior citizens, or people with disability, or anybody who they could stop on. But that negative energy just seemed to permeate all through that place. And I felt it. And one day I said, this is my last damn day here because I don't like how this makes me feel. And I couldn't explain it to anyone enough for people to understand just how exhausting that place was. Not because of the work, but just because once you stepped in the door, it was like a weight that pressed on you.
Yeah.
And ate at you. It felt like little bitty teeth were just sitting and biting at your soul every time you went into that place. But once I was outside, I was good. But it seemed like that place was trying to consume me. And I started seeing the people around me, how they acted. And you didn't see any light in them or nothing. I was like, I'm out on this place. I'm out.
Okay. All right. That's interesting beyond belief. Because I'm thinking like, I was wondering if the story was going to end like, and then later on we found out that they were like doing child sex trafficking. And, you know what I mean? And I knew it was something. I'm glad.
Well, here, one of the owners was in trouble for being a very, just one of the worst humans to ever exist. One of the owners of the company was in trouble for abuse. For one, he was very abusive to his family in ways that just didn't even make logical sense for a human. And there were some questions about pedophilia in his life, in his past. So he brought that energy to this company. And it showed. I felt it. So there's that.
Yeah, no, I could dig it. The thing about the thing about this whole concept is that sometimes, depending on the person, intuition ain't always right. Just like our feelings lie to us sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes our feelings, our emotions, or whatever are caught up or ingrained in whatever conditioning that we've gone through. So sometimes we can be brought up to think that things have to be a certain type of way, and when they aren't that way, it can make us nervous because we think that we're in trouble when things don't go the way that we have been taught that they're supposed to go. So on the negative side of things, somebody may have stopped talking to you or dealing with you or whatever, because they got a feeling about you that made them uncomfortable. And it could have been through no real fault of your own. But because they were taught that this is supposed to be this way, you know, I mean, it could be something fucking crazy. You know, my uncle, may he rest in peace. He was funny as hell, but he was real smart and sometimes too smart for his own good. You know how some people that are on drugs, I've always felt like they was on drugs in order to keep from being like super great, because had it not been for the drugs, they could have been like kings and queens and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not all people that are on drugs turn out to be bums, but on a lighthearted side, he insisted that Chinese girls had a pussy that went to the side. So you didn't enter them straight from the vagina. You had to... Yo, and he was dead. He was dead serious. He was dead serious. He insisted that he had sex with one, and he had to lay across her instead of on top of her. I was like, what are you talking about, huh? What are you talking about?
I'm so sorry. It's not funny because we know it's probably due to the drugs.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't due to the drugs. Come to find out, it was a highly believed stereotype, probably that came from the soldiers from World War II or Korea or Vietnam. It was just another way.
This is the first time I've ever heard this in my 54 years.
When I tell you,
what are you saying to me?
Look, TK right in the comments, she said she heard it before. A lot of people. This was a widely held belief. Oh, should I say stereotype? You got all of these soldiers that went over. You got all of these soldiers that went over, raped, pillaged, and impregnated these women, and then they came home with this bullshit. So he told me this shit when I was a teenager. I was like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? He even did a visual. He was like, Omar, you don't have sex with them this way. You gotta go this way. Like a fucking cross T or some shit. You were there like an intersection. So I'm like, so Unc, so where's the pussy? On her leg? Because that was the only, I'm like, how? Look, it ain't designed for you to, look. I don't care if you got a hook dick, it ain't gonna fucking work. You know? So unless that shit is on her thigh, how you gonna hit it? And of course he tried to verify it, like, I had sex with one, so I know it's true. I was like, okay, here we go. Now it's time.
What's happening to me right now? And I'm telling it. You told me this dog shit.
Listen, he was what he was. You know what I mean? He was what he was. Look, this shit was so crazy. I wasn't even laughing at the time. I'm like, what is wrong with this man? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Like, I'm telling my mama. I would have told my mother. I like, you know what just said?
Listen, if I would have told my mom, he would have verified it with her too. This motherfucker was talking like, you know what I mean? Like, praise the Lord. He wasn't bullshit. In his mind, he wasn't bullshitting. Like he got some knowledge that he he was putting his young nephew on with the real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. That's how that was going down.
I was going to say, I'm a military man in my family, and none of them ever said that to me, but I'm a girl, so they would have a reason to say that to me.
Well,
and of course, if they said it to the males in the family, they wouldn't repeat it to me. They probably
trust me. They probably didn't say it because they didn't get the memo that they were supposed to kick some dumbass shit that just don't make no sense. Yeah, but but I was saying all of that to say that because of a rumor or a stereotype or because of something that you have been taught, whether it goes towards morality or immorality or whatever, a lot of people will stop dealing with you because you don't fit the mold of what they have been taught. And it's not that they don't like you. It's just that they think dealing with you could doom them. Like they might stop messing with you for the safety of their family. You know what I mean?
You know, I have a cousin right now who doesn't speak to me, and it's so ridiculous. She doesn't speak to me, not like we used to anyway, because she's very angry. Excuse me, and she has other cousins upset too because I didn't attend her grandmother's funeral, who's my godmother. And she, in her head, it is because her ex was there. And it had nothing to do with her ex.
You have a call from.
It really is because I don't attend funerals anymore. I don't have the mental capacity to attend a funeral. That's just where it is. And people always say, what if something happens to your son? I'm like, do you think saying that is going to change it? Do you understand the anxiety I have thinking about that right now? First of all, I would hope he never goes before me. That's first of all. And if he does, I don't know how I would cope. But my cousin has now put this in the head of other relatives that, like, I just chose not to go to my godmother's funeral because of her ex. And so that rumor is now in the heads of some of these other idiot relatives who should know me better than that. When the reality is, I don't go because I can't. I can't attend funerals anymore. It has a different effect on me now that it never had in my life. And I think some of it has to do with seeing my mother and my grandmother and my cousin who was murdered at her young age. And because most of my life, I have been responsible for putting together every obituary of loved ones. And it has been too much. And when we went through the pandemic, it ate my heart to no end that I cannot see a funeral and be okay. So I don't attend anymore. But my cousin has this rumor going, and now some of these dummies assume I didn't go because of her ex. And that is the rumor that's out there. So these people feel that way toward me. So yeah.
Okay. It happens. It's actually a common thing, you know. Like, but when it happens to you, it can throw you off. Now, you know, as far as closing your eyes and looking for something, that person who may have stopped talking to you or ghosted you or whatever, they may have had to close their eyes in order to have found a reason to not deal with you, even though they may have really been fond of you. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
I'm her favorite big cousin, and she's my favorite baby cousin.
Yeah.
But that thing kind of said to her. And when you say that, that's another thing. I have to close my eyes sometimes to prepare because I don't tell anybody no for these obituaries because I know, first of all, it's my loved one too, and I want to give them the best verbal send off that I can. And sometimes I know my loved ones who are in the midst of it, excuse me, can't find the right words, the words that make sense. But sometimes before I say yes, or sometimes before I proceed, I have to close my eyes and gather myself because I have to remind people it's your loved one, but it's mine too. And even though you're gathering the photos and sending them to me, I have to go through every memory and I have to put the words together and then I have to make them make sense. And so now, not just the memories from the pictures, but I'm remembering everything since this person existed in my world. And it is eating at me as I'm doing this. So you're crying, but I'm crying too. And I'm crying every minute of the day as I put this thing together. And I hear people say, Kim, maybe you need to start saying no and stopping. And I want to, and I should, but I can't because I love this person too. And I need the right words to be out there when they leave. But I have to close my eyes and find a moment where I can step in to do the thing for it to be incredible. And when that moment comes, sometimes it might be 2:00 in the morning where I'm like, okay, I'm okay, I can do it. And when I do it, I have to hit it and get through it. And that's the end of it.
Okay. Trying to find a way to understand a person that is hell bent on not understanding you, or trying to appreciate a person that is hell bent on not showing appreciation for you is a challenge. And sometimes it's a challenge that we want to meet, and sometimes it's a challenge that we say, man, you must be crazy.
I think it's easier for her to just say, I think it's easier for my cousin to say it's because of her ex than she's always looked at me as the strong one. You are my strong cousin. You're my cousin who I don't expect to cry. You're my cousin who you don't let anything bother you. So you're the cousin that I lean on because you are the stronger of all of us and you can withstand everything. I think it's easier for her to do that than to accept you're my cousin who's human. And even though I've seen you deal with a lot of stuff my entire life, you are human and things hurt you and you're going to cry. I think it's easier for her to see me as the strong one and put it on something else other than accepting the fact that I can be weak too because I'm human. Because she does not want that, she can't handle that part, I guess. So I think it's easier for her to say, she's a bitch and didn't come because she hates my ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think the other ones are okay with that too. It's easier for all of them to, because the first time they saw me really cry, they all just didn't know what to do. Everybody just stood around twiddling their thumbs, and it's like, I hate you all right now. Like, I don't need you to stand there and talk about how strong I am. I need you. I don't want to be a rock anymore. How about that? So I think it's just easier for everybody to go with this. Kim's a bitch. She's mean. She hates him. So she's using him as a weapon against all of us, rather than saying, Kim is human. She's weak. And she's a crybaby. So there's that.
Cool. Troy.
Yo. What's going on, the beautiful ones in the live stream? What's up, Sonny? What's up, Kim? How everybody doing?
Feel like a real man should, my dude. Everything good.
Now I can start the show. and I can get in there now. You know, I have to hear the state. I have to hear. In order for me to really adapt to the show, I have to hear, you know, your calling card. You know. You know, and I was sitting here thinking.
Did you hear about the uncle?
I heard everything you just said, Kels, and no.
I'm saying your son's uncle.
Yeah, I heard the part of his damn uncle. One thing about son, when he tells a story, it's going to be the truth, the funniest shit.
Okay. That's it. I'm not going to bring it back up. I just want to make sure you heard that part.
Could you imagine him, his uncle telling him the story? But see, put this on your image. Can you imagine him telling that story, and then he said, he was telling that story, and then later on, I started punching the air. Because I couldn't believe my uncle. What the hell you saying? I would have been on that. That would have been funny as shit. So you start this shit, boy, and you be telling stories which I knew was true, but when you can put that other one in there, can you imagine?
So that's my new shit. The air punch on it. That's what we doing.
I had to what'd you say?
I said that's my new shit. The punch in the air thing, like
punch in the air is your new shit. That's your shit right there.
Got it. Got it. Got it. No problem.
You know, when I first came on the show, I had to listen to what you was meaning about it. What was the show about? And what I started learning from it is that sometimes you got to close your eyes to open your eyes.
Okay.
Which means that you got to close your eyes to see, to open your eyes to what's really going on around you. You know. And I can understand that, like I'm going to give one of the perfect movies that I love the most. It was the movie. Remember the movie A Time to Kill?
Oh yeah.
Samuel Jackson and Matthew McConaughey, when the racist guys raped the young girl, and Samuel Jackson went and killed the two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
There was a part at the end of the movie, Matthew McConaughey told them, he told the jury, he said, do me a favor, close your eyes. And he gave this beautiful synopsis of everything that happened to this girl. And then he told them to open. And then he said, imagine if she was white. So he had to make them close their eyes to see the reality of what really happened.
Mm.
And that's what you was meaning by the show. Sometimes you got to close your eyes to see the reality of what's going on around you or what's going on in your life. You know, and that is deep. I'm not trying to get off topic, but I was just getting ready to call in a minute ago earlier. And before I was doing that, I was listening to gospel music before you came on.
Mm.
And I'm getting ready to call in, and my aunt called me about my nephew, man. So I'm just going to put that on the back burner, but that tells me sometimes you got to close your eyes to realize the reality of what the devil does. Because he knew I was going through my grief. He knew I was going through my situations. He knew I'm going through more than that. And he sent these two devils. And that's what I call them. To call my phone to bring a reaction that they shouldn't do that when you don't want to hear the truth. My mom always told me the truth is the light. Well, I'm going to shine a light on it like a birthday song. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot going on that, one thing you were saying, Kel, one thing I say, and I agree to a lot of things you were saying earlier and a lot of things some were saying, is that the most important thing is that if people sit back and they say they believe in God and they believe in this and they believe in that when it comes to God, then you should also know you're not here to judge anyone. You can give an opinion, but you're not here to judge. In order for a person, if a person really knew you, they should already know who the heart is at, who you are as a family member, and how you protect people. So there should be a doubt in their mind of the love that you feel for anybody that's passed away. And they should also understand that your grief is your grief, and how you handle it is how you handle it. And the pain that you just felt, you got to protect you from it. And that's the thing a lot of people don't know. Sometimes you have to protect yourself from your own self, or protect yourself from the hurt that either you can inflict or somebody can inflict you, whether that's physical pain, mental pain, or, whatever pain. I'm not trying to
we don't understand that till we get older. We don't understand that till we get older, that we have to protect ourselves. We go through life, especially in our youth, not protecting ourselves. And I'll be 54 in a few days. And
God bless her.
It took me until,
I say God bless
it took me, thank you. It took me until I was way into my 40s to understand that I have to protect me too. You know what I mean? We don't understand that till we get older, that we have to, and our protection is totally mental. But we don't understand that until we get older, because in our youth we don't think about mental peace. We don't think about the effects of how life mentally affects us. We just don't. But as we get older, I don't think we have an opportunity not to. I think that's where one day we are in the midst of meditation, sleep, that space between awake and sleep, where we realize I have had enough and I got to do something, because this is eating me up. But we don't realize it, I think, until, I think some of these new people are starting to recognize it. But I think for us, we come from a generation where we were taught to be strong and hard, and our protection was physical. And it was, we had to do things. We were forced to grow up before our time. So we didn't understand the importance of mental protection. So, yeah.
And that's the main thing. Like, a lot of things don't you really, like, a lot of people, like, I remember son said, well, he when he was a kid, he was always, he thought about that, And, but there's also a lot of people that us as children, when we was growing up, a lot of us as children thought we was invincible. We never thought about death. As you get older, and the more you start seeing more death, is when you start thinking about death. When you start losing people, not just loved ones, but people that's in your age bracket. And then it becomes synonymous to what can happen to you now. And when you close your eyes to death, and you start thinking about death, you start thinking about, what's the inevitable. You also start thinking about God itself, because, you sit back and you ask him, like, when is he going to bring you home? You don't think about God. The whole time when you're a kid, you think about him, but you don't think about God. You having fun. You having a ball. You just enjoying life as a kid. As you start getting older, believe me, you're going to become spiritual. You're going to become spiritual as you get older. And I don't have anything. I had about 2 or 3 friends that was atheists. And I don't judge them. The only funny thing I said to them is that, so when you hit your foot on the edge of that bed, do you say, oh my God? Do you say, oh my man, I don't believe in? Because I know when I hit my foot on the side of me, I'll be, oh my God, please, God, take this pain away. Atheists can't say that. And I had them laughing at it.
They can just say ouch.
Yeah, they just can say ouch, but I had to make it. Oh my person, I don't believe. So I mean, at the end of the day, closing your eyes is also, like you said, Kim, is a form of meditation. To take your thoughts, to meditate on certain situations that you're going through, and hopefully that you can, it can calm you. It brings calmness to you. That's why when you sit back and when you praying, you close your eyes. When you meditate, you close your eyes. You know, when you're thinking about something or you feel overwhelmed, you close your eyes. Closing your eyes can be a gift and a curse, because sometimes when people close their eyes, sometimes you better get the hell away from them as well.
True.
Closing your eyes can mean something different. So closing your eyes can also be a form of somebody saying, I'll be back, watch. Because when you hear somebody say that, you better leave. But you know, I mean, a lot of things that I was listening to before I got on was understanding, because I had to really understand where you was going at with it. So, you know, so I mean, once I got the deep meaning of it, I understood where you was coming from with it. And you was like, "Oh, I'm not trying to make this somewhat of God," but sometimes them titles take you to that. You know, you don't want it to go that route, but sometimes it goes take you there. And also, by going to that route, it also is a healing thing. You know, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Originally, when I was thinking about the title of it, I was thinking about how, you know, people be suspecting they men, women, spouses of cheating and shit like that. You know, always constantly looking for evidence that they not doing them right, or that they, you know, whatever. And I was thinking like, yeah, a lot of times when people can't find physical evidence of what they want, they close their eyes and find whatever they need to find. You know what I mean? So, you know, I see that you can do that in a whole lot of different scenarios, a whole lot of different situations. So, so I thought, you know, we would put it out there and see what would happen. Yeah, I didn't really mean to take the whole the whole God angle, but I mean, I'm good with that. I'm good with that, because it's one of the biggest mysteries in the world. Like I said, our theory of creation just doesn't hold weight. If everything in our world and from our understanding comes from something else, then we can't explain God. Even with the Big Bang Theory, like it doesn't hold weight. I don't know why anything exists.
Yeah, because I have a lot of questions. As you get older, you start asking these questions, and you keep having I was just sitting here thinking, like, if God knows all and sees all, He knows what you're thinking before you do it. And if you knew that this person was getting ready to shoot and kill all them kids up there in Connecticut, why didn't you kill him before he killed them? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't you create a diversion to prevent that from happening? You know, I mean, sometimes you sit back and you ask, like my son asked me, he said, if God controls everything, why does He allow so much hurt? And I had told him, I said, you know, you have to talk to your Uncle Peanut about that, because he's a pastor. He might can guide you in a different direction that I can't give you an answer to. I don't want to give you a false narrative that you believe in something that I can't tell you. You know, so you turn them over to some people that might can assist them in the same way. I don't want you going to no internet, because they might tell you something different. I want you to go to somebody that's inside his walk, that can give you a different answer. So yeah, I mean, we all have questions about certain situations. Because I mean, like I was just joking a couple weeks ago about Cain, Abel, and Adam and Eve. I'm still trying to understand, how is it that there was only two people on this planet, but yet how did everybody come together?
See, here's the thing. Evidently, in this world, we have to learn how to function without knowing what came from where. True. I mean, we can knock as many things off the list as possible, but if we spend our whole lives trying to find out what came from where, we're basically going to waste our whole lives doing that, because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get the answer. Our main unit for finding life in this world is water. From on Earth, anywhere where water is, life is. That's on Earth. So when we look, and that's why when we send satellites or whatever rovers or whatever, we're always looking for life water on other planets. And It's funny because we say science says that it's so cold on other planets, like the Earth is the only planet that human beings could live on because the temperature is favorable. You would freeze to death on Mars easily because Mars is colder than Freon all the time, way colder than Freon. Can you imagine somewhere colder than Freon? Venus and Mercury, we were burned. We were like there's no way we could withstand that type of heat. So everything past Mars, if Mars is that close to Earth, and it's that cold, yet we're still trying to colonize Mars, so they say, or whatever, find a way to live when they don't have any air or atmosphere that we could possibly breathe in. But they say like planets like Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto that they eliminated, Neptune. They say that it's so cold, it's all ice. And I'm thinking like, well, what ice? Because we only have water to our knowledge on Earth. In order to have ice, you have to have water. That's what ice is, frozen water. So, in places where they don't get enough sun to ever have anything that's unfrozen, but we don't know what is frozen as. And for all we know, they just making this shit up anyway, you know? But we need water in order to have life on this planet. And that's the only way that we know life to be. So even when we talk about life on other planets and all that kind of stuff, we're thinking water because that's the only form of, that's what we have to have a form of life everywhere else. So we have to deduce that life on other planets either have water, so that allows them to be able to visit our world or our planet, or they have something else of the equivalent that gives them life. I don't know. But this is one of those things that you might have to close your eyes and find the answer to, or close your eyes and look for, you know, because we just don't know. We just don't know. But,
my thing is, I think it's just a lot. I'm just bewildered by the buffoonery when I just know that people is just using hypothesis to come up with some analogy. I just wanted to test my words too. Just wanted to see if all of them.
I see, because you ain't say shit, and that's cool because it's not.
Wait. And therefore, listen. And therefore, that's how they talk. We don't know the shit they be saying.
Listen, man. I mean, there always going to be way more questions than there are answers. There are always going to be more questions than there are answers. But if you close your eyes and find the answers, you know, that you think exist or whatever, or that you think are valid or out there, we might have there can be situations where you might find yourself at odds with somebody, and it ain't even really got to be that way. But anybody who's ever dealt with a jealous lover knows what I'm talking about when I say, you know, or when I explain, close your eyes and look for it. You know what I mean? Because a jealous person, huh?
I think most definitely.
Yeah, a jealous person will always be looking for evidence of their behavior. And I say their behavior because 9 times out of 10, when a person thinks that you are doing something sinister, it's often because they think that they know that that's the way that they would act. Not necessarily saying that that's the way that they are, but when you know that you would do something in a certain situation, it's hard for you to believe that somebody else would make a totally different choice. For example, you look at a man with a healthy sex drive, and he encounters a woman who's clean, who's going to offer him sex with no strings attached farther than what he wants. Now, the average man is going to believe like, yeah, you going to take it because, you know, she clean, so there's, you know, she not going to get pregnant. and she's not gonna make trouble for you. So who wouldn't take that opportunity? But not, some men wouldn't. They just wouldn't. But it's going to be hard for you to believe that they wouldn't do it because you know that you would jump at the opportunity to do it. Plus, she was cute, fat ass, like big juicy titties. You know what I mean? Areolas, that look like plums. But anyway, so you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about some exotic shit like that. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, but yeah, so people have expectations that you will do what they do. And a lot of times when people are jealous, that's what type time they on. They always blaming and looking for evidence of cheating or whatever, because they know that in similar situations, they may have done the same thing. Now, and I'm not saying that for all people who are jealous, because jealousy also has a lot to do with fear that they're not good enough for you to be faithful to, or to treat with due respect. So they figured, you know, there's always something. I'm not good enough for you to treat me well. So I know that you're out there looking for somebody to treat better than me, and I'm going to find them. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to find them. It could be because they would do it themselves or are doing it themselves, and it could just be because they
or they contemplating it. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'm not going to say for certainty that they all do it, because they don't all do it. But in certain situations, like you know, where opportunity is there, in the threat of negative consequences is missing, a lot of people would take the shot, but not everybody would take the shot. And that's what a jealous person or a vindictive person or a devilish person doesn't understand. No, everybody is not like you. Not everybody will take something that's free just because it's free. Some people might realize that something you may have to pay even extra for something that is supposed to be free, quote unquote. You know, what up, Evelyn Royston? We are talking about Close Your Eyes and Look For It. That's the title of the show. So we're talking about how you use your mind to find evidence of things that you want to find or whatever. We talking about something like that. I'm not even exactly straight on it, but it's good. It's good. It's good. Good. But yeah, you know, whether we talking about, you know, we talked a lot about, you know, closing your eyes and finding God or things like that. But people do that also with love and hate. You know, situations where you might be with somebody or want to be with somebody that is not acting like they want to be with you. And so you may work really hard to try to find evidence that they really want to be with you, or that being with them will be okay with you. We look for comfort zones all the time, even in unsafe and uncomfortable situations. But we do what we think we have to do. So
I had to do that when I was getting ready to end the situation with this last ex. I really had to take a moment, and I really did physically close my eyes and had to question myself: is this something I need to continue pursuing, or do I need to gather myself together first, because I'm not in a good space to be in this relationship, and I'm causing more harm than good in this relationship, and it's going to be tumultuous if I don't end it now. So I had to do that. I had to, and it was love, because I do love the man, but I knew we had to part because I was becoming the enemy.
let me ask you something, Kim. Have you ever been with an ugly man?
Yeah.
Okay, how did you get through it?
I mean, I just did. It was no. I didn't look at him and be like, God, he's ugly.
Now we not talk. Now hold on a second, because we not talk. I didn't ask you if you ever dealt with an unattractive man or somebody who wasn't all that. I asked, have you ever been with an ugly man?
And yes, I have.
All right. So I mean, all right. So I'm going back to the question. So how did you get through it? Because that's not an easy thing to do. The initial attraction is not really there because the person is physically unattractive. We talk about the word ugly. So
he has some nice qualities, but as I started to see the internal ugliness in him, I was like, I'm going to be done with this. It just wasn't even I don't know if I was buying time. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just, every day I would be like, I'm going to be done with him. And when I was done, it just was no question about it. It was like, hey, you got to get your shit out of my house. He wasn't living with me, but he had a lot of things in my house, so you can come and kick it for weekends, a week or so at a time. And I was just like, you ain't shit in my house, because I don't want to do this no more.
So he was ugly on the outside and the inside?
Yeah, he was. So he had a good mask on in the beginning, because he seemed, nice. Now, don't get me wrong. I knew who he was, because he's a hood dude. I knew who he was. But he had some traits about him that just didn't match mine. And when I saw them, I never saw them at first, but when we were around his family, I saw them. And the first time I was like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's me. Let me just put a cap in this for a minute and let me see. And then I saw it again, and even one of his aunts had to intervene and be like, look here. I don't know what you're thinking, but she's cool. Why are you acting like this? Because he always thought I was trying to deal with his cousins or something and say he just was crazy. But then when I really saw it, I was like, dude, you don't even know the monster I am. Let me let you go.
Okay.
Because from who you think you are, I'm 30 times worse. Trust me. See, you openly say your shit. I don't. Mine sits inside until I decide, today is the day, Venus. Get up and do what you're going to do. Come on. We good. So here, let me end this to save you. Huh?
Pack your shit and get the hell out. You got to get the hell out.
Hold on.
When I told you, I said, you got to get your shit out of my house. I said, you got to get your... We were just in the middle of eating and just chilling, and I looked at him. He's smiling. I said, you got to get your shit out of my house. He was, what?
Wait, y'all was living...
I said, no, for real.
Wait, he was living with you?
No, he wasn't living with me, but he come and spend... Like, he come for the weekend or come for a week or something like that, but he wasn't living with me.
Oh.
But he'd bring his stuff to my house. Like, he had a toothbrush and he'd have a couple things to change in. Just little shit like that.
You gave him a drawer.
I don't want to say that because I kind of did. Like, he had his overnight bag.
All right. All right, Troy. What about you? Have you ever been with an ugly girl? I know the answer is no, but go ahead.
Well, I've never been. I've been with an ugly woman that was ugly inside.
No, that ain't what I asked you. I don't give a shit about no inside.
I've never dealt with an ugly girl.
I knew the answer. Because I know you too shallow to deal with an ugly woman.
Oh no, I'm not shallow.
Oh yeah, you too shallow. Then how come you ain't been with no ugly woman then?
Because that's not what I seek.
Exactly. You know why?
Why?
Because you're shallow. You're not deep like me and Kim. I've been with plenty of ugly girls.
Okay. All right, let me ask you something.
And I'll tell you why. Huh?
What did they have? So if you done with the tip drill, girl, because you know what I mean by tip drill, right?
No.
Nelly song, Tick Drill?
No, I don't know that song.
It must be her ass because it ain't her face. I need a tick drill. So, what did the girls have?
Oh, first of all, she had a fat ass. She wasn't ugly. That's number one. I don't know what you talking about.
So that took away the ugliness.
That's right.
That's why she wasn't.
She wasn't ugly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a beautiful. You can't have a beautiful body and be ugly. Not to me. I dealt with an ugly woman for money and a place to stay.
Oh.
You know I'm lying. I ain't never fucking live with nobody. I ain't never live with nobody. I ain't never.
Do you realize, son, that would contradict you saying I've never had to pay rent in my life?
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because that would mean I wasn't paying rent there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. That's right.
But you fucked me up because I had a better answer. It was supposed to be money and sex. But never
I
mind.
didn't think it's for money. Probably for sex. It doesn't even sound like your character.
Well, when it's a woman, certain things can turn that woman into one of the most beautiful women in the world. And that's it. If that bubbling, then she cool.
Listen, I've dealt with.
You can't be ugly.
I've dealt with some ugly girls, but that was because it was a situation that warranted it. I mean, look. First of all, I used to drink. There's no way you can drink and while you're young and never mess with an ugly girl. I mean, they're gonna fall right on your lap. You know, sometimes you could be at home by yourself. They'll come and get right in your bed. You wake up and like, oh shit.
How you get hit?
I was trying my best not to laugh, but what in the hell is happening here?
Did you let yourself in?
Well, the bottom line is, I mean, it happens. It's like seeing you look. It's like seeing 1,000-legger in the crib. Like, what the fuck are you doing? How'd you get in here? Like, I would say an ant or a roach or something, but fuck. Fucking dragonfly in the house? Who does that? So you like find her right there in your bed. Like, shit, how did you even know I was here? Like,
you woke up in the morning singing that song, How Did You Get It?
Look. We was talking about the power of the Lord, right? We was talking about the power of the Lord, right? So
they supposed to be here.
In the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad claimed that what was his name? They said that he appeared in the jail with with Elijah Muhammad and toy. I mean, you know, not Muhammad Ali, Elijah Muhammad. But anyway, but what I asked the question is because if you ever deal with an ugly person, you're gonna have to close your eyes and look for the beauty in them. Because it's not right there. It's not there. You know what I mean? Yes, she can do it.
Sometimes it's there in the beginning.
See, because Kim, your ugly is evidently not my ugly. See, I don't mince words. You know what I mean? When I say ugly, I'm not talking about, like, but she got, no. That's not what I said. I said she was ugly. I don't mean ugly to everybody else. I mean to me. So, I'm just saying.
Tim used that song. Hey, son, Tim used that song too. She goes, How did you get here? That you
No.
That's a good. We in overtime. It's over. This is over. This show is over. It's already. It's past 3:30. We out of here. That's going to That's going to do it.
We was eating. I just said, "Pack the shit, get the fuck out of my house."
You know what I mean?
Damn, boy, eating.
We out of here. We are out of here, y'all. I knew this shit was gonna get here sooner or later. Oh, darn! I wish I had a few more times, but I don't. All right. So
you mean a woman with frog eyes and a long face?
I want to thank y'all both for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Appreciate your info, your knowledge, your insight. Thank you to Stacy for calling in first. Y'all have a great day. No exceptions.
Can I do a birthday shout out real quick?
Sure.
First, everybody, be safe. But I also want to say today was the day I was blessed with becoming a mom 34 years ago. So happy birthday to the mini male version of me times 100. He is probably not going to hear this because I don't share the show with him because this is Mama's personal world that does not include him. But I still want to say happy birthday to my offspring. I can't wait to him enjoying his gifts today.
Yeah. Big birthday shout out there. Big birthday shout out there.
Happy birthday, nephew. Enjoy your day.
That's a good look. All right, y'all. I'll holler back.
Have a good one, everybody.
All
right, y'all. Peace. All right, let's do these birthday shout outs. The remaining ones. We got the first one off. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 3rd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Calvin Baker. And Shadana Love, and Tammy Lady Sarcasm Muhammad, and Jay West, MD Rassel Ahmed, Muma D. Lambert, Allison Young, April Dex, Slaying Diva Frazier, Carl and Kara Revels Crittenden, and last but not least, my favorite female cousin, my girl Lolita Dysart, formerly known as Lolita Games. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 3rd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Happy 78th birthday, Mr. Dave. That's what's up. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, sometimes you gotta close your eyes so you can see some things that are open and be a surprise. Eyes on another type of mission. Sometimes I gotta put the pole in the water and go fishing. Even though there ain't no bait on the line, it doesn't mean that a big old fish is something I won't find. And I take time just to think about the things that I want to do and the way it's going to work out, and I shout right up to the heavens, because one day I'm going to be all right. My man Son 7 with the 5-2, go through the drive-through and get you some fly ass shit. I say, why you ever try to front on this type of mission? Everything is gonna be all right, but I'm dishing out the punishment to anybody try to front, because it's not the thing that you're trying to get and what you want. And I'm on some other type of style, and I'm gonna make sure that I get crazy, well, wiggling wild, ow, 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 rah, rah, on some Busta Rhymes shit. Yeah, I'm still legit, and I spit this thing just like I was born, and I'm gonna make sure I do it till all the rhymes are gone, but they never be gone, because it's like math, is infinite. So I go just start spitting shit, and I talk about the lights that's on my face, and I'm gonna talk about the space that I had to clear out. You'll hear me out just for a second. I take a second, the record, a minute to get in it. I'ma know that if I play, I'ma win it, and I'm gonna do like the cops did, the block, and they spin it. Pour me over, talking about I'm gonna give you a ticket. I say, yo, you know who I am. You just wanna kick it. Get my phone number, even my address. I saw you looking at my motherfucking. I run it back, I do it again, and I rhyme for you, because all of y'all are my friends. And the ends, we ain't making a lot, but we gonna still keep whipping up in the pot. And this ain't drugs. This is a new idea. And I'm glad every day y'all be coming around here. And I steer clear those who want to do bad, because I could do bad all by myself. This shit is kind of sad. When I think about things, it kind of makes me mad. How come in 2021 I lost my dad? How come I lost a lot of people since then? And I lost my grandmother 2001. This not a win, but we all gotta go. So sometimes I think about it, and I try to make the thing so I can keep on going and keep on flowing, because I'm like an oracle structure, all seeing, all knowing, and I'm towing you just like a car, and I'm gonna take you right far down the road. Are you ready to go? Get dressed. Let me smell your neck. All right, cool. I remember that's how your mom used to do. Yo, get up in that neck, because I know you ain't watched that shit. The boy's a fool. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, Monday going into Tuesday. Monday going into Tuesday. Monday going into Tuesday. Everything's going to be all right. We do it our way. And with that being said, I want y'all to have a great day. No exceptions. Close your eyes and look for whatever you need to find. It'll be there. It'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right, I'm going to call y'all later. All y'all. Ow! Peace, y'all. Have a good day.